What's up? This is Vince Carter. You're listening to the 3-Point Conversion. Check it out.
Becky, first question from the second row center.
Eden Lassie, Just Women's Sports. Kelsey was able to really get going today by getting to the basket. How was she able to exploit that defensive matchup and drive all the time?
Well, you have to respect her three ball. So right there, you get to attack closeouts every time because you don't want to let her just shoot threes. Even though she's been a little off this series, just the threat of her, you don't want to get let her get rolling from there. So she's fast. She's fast with the ball. And I just wanted to lose her. So she needed to live in the paint, and we live with whatever she does in there.
Becky, next question, front row to your right.
Hi, Becky. Just in general with the offense, I know there was a clip of you on the broadcasting that you were so happy with how the team was able to control the paint. What did you see overall that was working so well offensively compared to game one?
They said I said. What did they said? I said that.
Oh, they had to. You were very happy that your team was up, doubling them up in the paint.
Well, I was just very happy with our paint defense. The fact that we were getting downhill in the paint offensively, obviously, helped us. Again, I thought Kelsey's drives opened us up. And I mean, the other day we got good looks again from three. We didn't knock them down, but you got to believe the worm will turn there eventually. The more important thing is that we're getting good looks when she gets in there. But yeah, that's a huge part of the series for us is the paint.
Just a note for those of you in the room, Connecticut locker room is now open. Becky, your next question will come from the second row to the right.
Congrats, Betsy. Congrats, Becky. In that third quarter, they kind of started to get back in it, cut the lead, I think, to 49-46, and then you guys answered with a run. I'm curious what changed at that point. What did you say? And because you guys kind of grabbed control and rolled the rest of the way.
Second row.
And just it starts on the defensive end, and our defense sucks. And then they ran out and didn't suck. That's them. They know what they're supposed to do. And it's my job to remind them what they're supposed to be doing. And, at the end of the day, they got to go out and do it. And they do, So we got a group that, and I didn't like offensively what we were doing. I thought I got real stagnant in that thing. And so I wanted to just get the ball popping a little bit more. So it was kind of twofold.
Becky, next question, third row to your left.
Becky, the Sun have been a resilient team all postseason. How do you balance, the excitement as a team of going up 2-0 while still staying locked in with the opponent like this?
I mean, I don't see any banners. I don't see any balloons. Sure as hell glad I didn't see that confetti again because we ain't won nothing yet.
Becky, next question, second row center.
Hey, Becky, going back to the end of the second quarter on the ATO, I was wondering if you could walk us through the play and what you were maybe seeing beforehand that you wanted to maybe exploit with that.
You want me to tell you that?
Well, I thought, you don't want maybe.
Nothing. I thought they were just overhelping on a cutter. So I wanted to slip someone to the basket.
Next question, third row to your left, Becky.
Becky, Jose Valente, Straight Bet Sports. De'Erica Hammy gave you 18 solid minutes off the bench tonight. Is it safe to say that she's 100% in back for you guys now?
She's pretty good to me. She keeps playing like that. She's going to keep playing. Her minutes have been impactful. We're still trying to get her cardio back a little bit. I know she got dog tired one time. I tried to get her out as soon as possible, but yeah, I mean, she's been a difference maker in the series. There's no doubt about it.
Becky, to your right, standing.
Willie Ramirez, Associated Press. Beck mentioned the paint defense, but the last game, when we asked what they weren't there, and you started off by talking about rebounds, both ends of the court, you ladies were getting second chance opportunities. How much was that a point of emphasis yesterday, and how did you see that improve tonight?
Well, I want us to. This is a very, very good rebounding team. And we need to be in the mix with them the whole time. I went back and when I looked at the Chicago series. And then also the Connecticut series against this team last year. It was just a drubbing on the boards. And so that's the key for us is boarding. And I thought, it wasn't that they quit going, they were still going, but we had bodies in front of them this time. And this is not a team that you meet at the rim, because then by the time they bump you, you're under the rim and the only thing you're getting is a make. You have to meet them outside the charge circle, outside, take up space so that by the time they bump you, you're where you need to be. And I thought we did a better job taking up space down there overall as a group. And, just scrapping for every ball. We didn't want to get out hustled. We thought we got out hustled for 20 minutes in the first half of game one. We didn't want that to happen again.
One more from the room, and then we'll turn to Zoom for another.
Coach
Becky,
Cassandra
standing to your
Cousineau,
right.
LV Sports Biz. It's been quite a chess match, in-game chess match between you, Kurt Miller, and your respective staffs. Can you talk a little bit about how prepared your staff has been, and particularly coming out of timeouts, and how important that's been for you?
Well, we wanted a real emphasis today on getting stops out of timeouts. Again, I go back to this is a series of concepts more than, yes, we have our schemes, this and that, but this is a concepts game. Conceptually, what are we trying to do as a team? And so we've had obviously a little bit extra focus on ATOs. I thought they destroyed our zone. So they made their adjustments there. I went back to it because I felt like we could still get a stop. We got a couple stops late, but early on they pretty much destroyed it. It wasn't until we could look at it at halftime with the group to kind of nail some things down a little bit. We also just stayed man when they went big and put Chelsea Gray on AT and just let her manage. Chelsea Gray is about the smartest basketball player I've been around. You can put her in a conversation. Her IQ is ridiculous. So I'm just letting her feel out and manage the game and kind of quarterback the game from a defensive end, because a lot of times they move AT to the point when they do that. So, we both teams made adjustments. I thought the difference really in the game was Plum getting downhill. And it's a lot different when you can take some of their transition points away. They beat us. Well, they beat us tonight too, but it was better. It wasn't. I didn't feel as bad. So sometimes you think you're doing something good, and then it's like, ooh, that did not feel good. And I didn't feel that tonight as much as I did the other night. So
We'll turn to Zoom for one, possibly two questions. Lindsay, you're up.
Hey, Becky, Lindsay Schnell from USA Today. Congratulations. When you took this job, you talked about how one thing that appealed to you is the Aces saw you as a head coach right now, right away. I wondered this season, how much of this has been about proving all the people who didn't think that about you wrong? And also, do you think everyone in the NBA feels dumb for not hiring you?
it's about putting these ladies in a position to win a championship. That's been my focus. That's why I took this job. I felt they had the talent to do it. And I felt that I could build the relationships and build a culture in the right way for us to put ourselves in a position to be able to win a championship. Like I said before, we haven't won anything yet. All we did is take care of home court. We did what we were supposed to do. But I'm used to people not picking me. I don't know if you're aware. I just do me.
Thank you.
Becky, thank you. Okay, everybody. Begin right away with questions for Kurt. Raise your hand, please. Let us know. Your first question will come from first row to your right.
Hi, Kurt. Becky was just saying that she thought Kelsey Plum being able to get downhill was a huge difference, or really the difference between game 2 and game 1. How did you see that impacting the game and just get the Aces going offensively?
Yeah, I thought they, made a concerted effort to get the ball in the paint, and their schemes to get people didn't hurt us as much as just tremendous one-on-one play that got into the paint all night. And they shot 71% inside the arc for the game. And, they flipped points in the paint, and just dominated that area. And it was mostly off the bounce. There were some slips and other things, but it was mostly off the bounce. And a lot of times, not every time, but a lot of times it was just one-on-one. And Kelsey led the charge there, just was relentless in the paint.
Kurt's second row to your left.
Hey, Kurt. I'm curious how you thought the jumbo lineup worked. I mean, initially you guys went on, I think it was a 12-4 run, and then the Aces seemed to adjust. What do you think they did to counter it?
Yeah, I thought there were stretches where our big lineup did some good things, changed some of the matchup, our physicality at times. We had a nice stretch when the chess match, and we scored a couple possessions in a row against their zone, which they have gone to, and we've gone big and got them out of their zone. But there was runs back at us with that big lineup also. So again, it just we just felt like we were playing catch up all night because we couldn't string together consecutive stops. And again, we're trying to find disruption. We're trying to keep this, high powered offense out of rhythm. And tonight we really struggled to do that.
Just one moment. Anyone heading to the Connecticut locker room, just trying to advise folks there. Anyone here? Okay, thank you. Next question will come from Zoom. We're going to go 2 questions. Owen, you're up. You're followed by Stephen. Owen, go ahead.
Hi, Coach. You've played against Asia for years. I'm just curious, what is different about the level that she's at right now?
First, I just have great respect for how, how her fitness, nutrition. I mean, she just can log minutes and play the same way from the start to finish. And she's so explosive right now, so physical. She plays through contact. And, it's just been really impressive.
Next up, Stephen. Stephen, you'll be followed by Lila.
Hey, Coach. So in the second quarter, you guys were able to draw even at 22-22 heading into the 22-22 specifically in the second stanza. What was it specifically that allowed you guys to get back into the game in that stretch, and what was it that showed up in that specific part of the game that didn't show up in the second half?
Yeah, I thought we in the second quarter, more than most of the game, we settled in and got some stops and found some rhythm. We played with the big lineup. Our 3 all-star post players, they shot 63% from the field tonight. They did a lot of really good things. They got to the foul line between those 3 all-star post players 16 times alone with those 3 players. So we had stretches when our bigs had good moments. It was hard to sustain when we were inconsistent with our guard play again.
Returning to Zoom, Lila, you're up. Lila, you'll be followed by Nancy.
Hey, Kurt, you guys have talked throughout this postseason of kind of, managing, the pressure and not letting things get too tight. How do you manage that now going into an elimination game at home?
You can't think big picture. That becomes overwhelming and daunting and feels, at times bigger than it's too big. So you gotta drill it down, and Lila will get back to work with our preparation for game 3. And all we talk about is game 3. And in particular, all we're going to talk about is the first quarter. And that's our approach. I think if you start thinking we have to win 3 in a row, we have to do, those kind of things, it becomes big. So, we're going to talk about game 3 and game 3 only, and be ready for that first quarter.
Next question from Zoom. Nancy, you're up.
Hey, Kurt. What has been the difference for Chelsea Gray? She's just been a completely different player in these playoffs, and you all seem to be able to contain her a little bit in the first half, and then second half she just did what she's been doing all playoffs. What did you see difference in the first and the second half? And again, what have you seen her do differently these playoffs?
It's just, I've said this a few times. There are a ton of really talented players in this league that make open shots. A ton of really talented players that make open shots. Chelsea Gray makes contested shots. She makes incredibly difficult contested shots. And it's a skill that she can be guarded and closed out on and with hand in her face, and has the, separating her from a lot of people in this league, that she can make those kind of shots. I mean, again, tonight, of her 9 baskets, we got a hand up. We got into her space as well as we could. And, still a high percentage of those 9 baskets that went in tonight were really well contested. And, other players that you play against, would not make 9 shots like that. It's just really separating her right now.
Kurt, returning to the room, second row center.
Hi, Coach. It looked like the Aces spacing was a little bit better in game 2 as compared to game 1. Did you feel like there was anything they did to kind of manipulate that spacing better, or was there game plan things that weren't executed on your side?
Yeah, I think that moments when they did get penetration, we got deflections and got some, turnovers. It, we need more. We need more than 8 against them. That only equated in the 6 points. I have to go back and look at the film and see, did they improve their spacing a little bit? Kelsey Plum and company just got off our hips all night one-on-one. And more discouraging was they got to their strong hands a lot. And, we have to take away their strong hands.
Next question will come from Zoom, also from Mike. Mike, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, great seeing you again. When you look at the first 2 quarters, do you think when you look at the first couple quarters of the first 2 games, the first quarter was always one of the most difficult ones. And I feel like Vegas gets off to such a strong start. It's rather frustrating. And what do you need to do in game 3 in order to stop that?
Yeah. Win the jump ball and make that layup again. That was nice. Again, first quarters have been a big part of our entire 3 series. And, it sets the tone for the game. So we have to find some disruption. We have to string together some stops early in the game. They were terrific in that first 4 to 5 minutes in game 1. Tonight, again, they shot a really, really high percentage for most of that first quarter.
Thanks, Coach.
Kurt, thank you.
Thank you.
To our media, our Aces players are on the way. Questions for Aces players? Oh, didn't see that coming. Okay. All right, let's go one. Throw a dart. Figure this out. All right.
I can eat a lot. Don't start eating. Do not start eating.
Matt.
Ooh, that's our scout. Not here. Hey, you got chopstick? Excuse my teammates. You want lip gloss or I got you. This is not happening. Sorry.
We good?
I think so.
All right, we're gonna start. Kelsey, Chelsea, Asia. First question to your right in the front row.
Hey, Kelsey. Becky said she thought the difference in this game versus the last was you getting downhill. Was that something where you just knew after how game one went, you just had to focus on more? Or how did you get that going? And related question, I know Asia apparently said something to you between the game 1 and 2 to kind of get you going. Asia, if you want to share anything about that.
Go
or how
ahead,
you-
Asia. Tell them what she said. Edited version. No, I told her she needed to get her shit together. Okay. At the end of the day, that's what she needs to do. We drafted her to do that, everything. So I made her make sure she understood that we need her to make shots. And I know it sounds harsh, but KP's a pro and she went out there and took care of business. And I think she understands that we believe in her. And like I said in the last press conference, I have ways that I talk to my teammates to get them to understand where I need them to be and where we need them to be. So yeah, I cussed her out.
Next question, second row to your right.
You don't want me to respond to that?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Kelsey, go ahead.
No, it's it's so funny. I was talking to my psychologist. I talk to him all the time, but like the ways different people approach you when you're like quote unquote in a slump, I got people praying over me. I got people rubbing my hand. I got people trying to encourage me. I got people cussing me out. But everyone wants to win, So I really actually I welcomed it very much. And I felt like, you know what, we all want the same thing. And I appreciate that, this organization believes in me, coaches believe in me, I believe in myself. And a lot of times I'm hard on myself. And I feel like, I've been a little bit frustrated how I've performed throughout the whole playoffs. So I'm just glad that they've been carrying it and I decided to join the party.
Next question, second row to your right.
Hey, Asia, quick question. Both games, you guys have come out and set the tone early in the first quarter. You've been super aggressive right out of the gate. How much of a concerted effort is that to kind of come out and set the tone, be aggressive early and really kind of, set you guys on that path?
It's huge for us. It's huge for us because if you look back at all of our L's, that first quarter kicked us. It kicked us and we were playing teams pretty even throughout, but those first quarters are so important because you never want to find yourself digging yourself out of a hole, especially when you're playing against a good team like Con, because they don't go anywhere. They're not going anywhere. We're expecting them not to go anywhere. So if we can just keep our mindset and our composure in the first quarter and just kind of set the tone, I think it's helpful for us later on down the road. But I'm amazed at how far we really come throughout this season, because there'll be some fourth quarters where it's like, wow, and others it's like, what the world? So I'm very happy at where we are, but we're not done yet. We still have to continue to push through. We still have things that we have to take care of. So I think it's very important for us to come out the way we do.
Next question to your right, standing. Well, go ahead.
Danny Webster, Las Vegas Sun for Kelsey and Chelsea. There's only one player in WNBA playoff history that's had 5 straight games of 20 points and 10 rebounds. It's the woman to your left. I guess this run that she's been on, can either of you elaborate on it?
I mean, you could say it's a run, but she's just done that all season. I feel like she's been the most consistent player night in and night out, offensively and defensively in this league. That's why she's the MVP. So, it's tremendous. A lot of times when we're watching greatness, we don't appreciate it in lifetime. Like we have to wait until, someone's done playing, but it's absolutely a treat for, basketball people that are watching to see what she's doing.
Yeah, I agree. And I think like we talk about her numbers offensively, but she's holding it down in the paint defensively, like a two-way player through and through, rebounding, snatching rebounds, blocking shots, having our bag when I get beat. And so like all that, and she's doing in production on the offensive end. And then the last series she played all but 4 minutes. So like being in shape, playing both ends, talking, being that person, like it's all around, like, and stuff is still not in the stat sheets that she's doing. And that's when you start building a legacy for yourself.
Next question, front row to your left.
This question is for either Chelsea or Kelsey or Asia. You guys are up 2-0. What do you have to do to close out this series and still remain balanced as far as mentality and knowing what you guys have to do on the floor in a hostile environment?
I would say not look too far ahead. We just got to focus on winning that first quarter, moving on, winning that second quarter, and the big picture will happen. It's the little things that gets the wins. It's not like at the end you try to go and outscore somebody. It's the little things. It's the rebounding. It's playing for each other. One more pass, one more play, and that's what we've been doing all playoffs. And so we have to be able to do that for Game 3.
Next question, second row to your left.
Cassandra Negley with Yahoo Sports. Kelsey, this game 1 to game 2 felt a lot like All-Star Weekend, where you wanted redemption after breaking in the 3-point contest.
Dang.
But you have redemption today.
Y'all see how people come at me? People wonder why I'm like feisty. It's like I'm dodging bullets here.
What has been your mindset over the past 48 hours?
Shoot or shoot. Just stay aggressive. I don't think anything necessarily that I've done differently, just my same routines. I eat the same thing. I go to bed at the same time. Sometimes shots fall, sometimes they don't. And it's, for me, I feel like it's been a growth opportunity, how I can impact the game in other ways besides shooting the ball, And so I feel like in years past, I might have, dropped my head and just gone deeper into a hole. But, through a lot of the things that I've been through throughout the years, it's just taught me that I'm always going to bounce back. And I know that about myself, and just going to keep shooting.
Next question will come from Zoom. We're going to go to Roz. Roz, go ahead.
Hi guys, Roz Goldenwood, ESPN. Chelsea, this is for you. Becky Hammond said that your IQ is ridiculous, and just trying to again see the efficiency in which you're shooting some of these very tough and contested shots, and just overall your impact of the game. How do you think the mental side of the game and your IQ can help separate you and help you be successful in these big moments?
I think like when you start talking about IQ, it's not just about yourself, it's about the bigger picture. And there's moments in the game where I do not have the ball in my hands, but I'm orchestrating or calling something just because I see it in a different view. And it's I've just worked like just watching film. I've watched other players play, watched a lot of basketball, and I rewatch our games all the time. Especially in this playoffs, it's the little details that make the difference on how we can get an easy touch, how we can get an easy score defensively, how we can make it difficult. But I think what just sets me apart is my willingness to be great, not just like the points and the assists and the rebounds and the nice passes, but how do I make the next player next to me want to play with me? How do I want them to, like my legacy to be when somebody talks to me, you want them to be your teammate. And so far that's people have wanted to play with me. And I think that's the biggest thing for me is to make others better.
Next question also on Zoom from Christy Winter-Scott. Christy, go ahead.
Oh, you in the car?
Hey, ladies, Christy. I am. My daughter's getting her hair braided. She has picture day for Georgetown, and I'm waiting. Anyway, this is real life. Anyway, this question is for Asia. Asia, there were a couple times when you got to the nail area and you found just lanes to your strong hand, your left side. Were you surprised by that? I think there was one possession in the first half. You turned around, nobody was there, and it was a floodgate for you. Were you excited also about your ability to get downhill? I know Coach Hammond said that, Kelsey's ability to get downhill was a big plus for the team.
Yeah, for sure. I was very surprised. Those opportunities don't come very often. I can't remember the last time I saw a clean basket. So I really want to capitalize on those moments, not just for myself, but for my teammates as well. But it does kind of catch me off guard, but I always trust my teammates, put me in the best situation to score the basketball. So I take what they give me and I live with it.
Just one more. Can I just follow up?
I'm sorry, Roz, we do have to move along. We have a lot of people with raised hands. Standing to your left.
Logan Raper here with Channel 8.
It's not Roz.
Asia, I saw you. Sorry. I saw you talking with John Moran after the game, a couple of South Carolina folks.
Yeah.
I was curious what that conversation was like and just how cool is it to have his support kind of along the way.
Yeah, it's super dope. John's like the little brother, like he's killing it in the league and he takes time to come out and show some love. So it's always something special. But, he was just telling me it's one more. one more. We can sit up here and say the job's not done, but we always know, like Chelsea said, we don't get too ahead of ourselves at all, because anything can happen in this league. So he just said one more, keep going and be blessed.
Next question, second row center.
Eden Mossy, Jesselyn Sports, Chelsea and Kelsey, this one's for you. What were you guys seeing kind of X's and O's wise that you were able to exploit in terms of getting to the basket?
They really want to congest the lane. So I think we play higher, wider, set good screens, have good angles, and make big reads. A lot of times they're going to put two people on the ball. So how do we deal with that once we see that and play out of those actions? And once we have good spacing, like we can get a lot of different things in the paint or kick out for shooters. There were some wide open threes we still missed, but we're making the right play. And I think that's the difference, is making the right play, making the right read time and time again.
Next question, standing to your right.
Sam Gordon, Las Vegas Review-Journal. Kelsey, congratulations on the victory first and foremost. Your rookie year, this was the worst team in the league, right? The franchise was. How would you, being that you're one of the OGs from San Antonio, how would you contextualize the way the franchise has transformed itself in the last 5 years to now you're up 2-0 in the finals, playing before a second consecutive sellout here in Vegas?
Yeah, I mean, I try to forget the dark days in San Antonio. No disrespect to San Antonio, but I mean, just what the Aces have done here is tremendous. Mark Davis, the support, the front office, investing, bringing in Becky, bringing in a coaching staff that has a ton of experience, and just bringing in players, top tier talent. Like went out and grabbed Chelsea, went out and grabbed Raquana, Kia. Obviously done great in the draft. With Asia and then Jackie. And I mean, you just can't say enough, because in this league, there's not a lot of young teams that are successful. It takes time and it's been building for years. So it's just a testament to organization, really.
One more from the room and we'll then return to Zoom. Fourth row to your left.
Adrian Hernandez, Odyssey Sports. Asia, last game of the season, I asked you if you had a message for Vegas. You invited the president, the mayor, everyone in Nevada.
Yes.
Las Vegas has responded 3 straight games. The attendance record has been shattered. It was loud as hell in the building. How did it feel to get that support, and just how loud it was throughout the game and the support?
I mean, it was great. It was great. Like we really needed that. And we always try to push the momentum, and the crowd is always behind us. So we always greatly appreciate them coming out night in and night out. Even when we was in our little slump going into All-Star break, they were still there. So it was super, super loud in the arena. We need that. And whether they can travel with us to con or not, we're going to still feel it. And we really appreciate everyone, honestly. Like I joke about inviting everybody, and I should have invited Usher, but no, like we really appreciate everyone really coming out and supporting us, because this is big. We have some of the best fans in the world, so I love them.
Next question.
Yeah, he was.
Next question from Zoom. Lindsay, go ahead.
Hey, Asia, Lindsay Schnell from USA Today. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that when Mark Davis was thinking about buying the team, you and him sat down and had a conversation. Is that true? I wondered, could you tell us about that? What did you say? Did you feel like you were trying to talk him into it?
No, I don't think so. We went to a Rams game. It was during COVID, and the Rams and the Raiders playing. And I mean, it was just a casual conversation. Like I didn't even think he was actually going to, like, I guess, buy us. Is that right? That's right. Yeah. I didn't think he was gonna buy us. But no, he was just trying to really pick my brain on the sport. And the one thing that I love about Mark is if he doesn't know, he tries to understand, and he wants to know. Like he doesn't think he's a know-it-all. He understands that this is a new world for him. He's used to football, and for him to open up and really get to know us and how can we make our league and team better. I think that was really what the conversation was. And I let him understand that you're coming behind an MGM owner with Jim and everyone that was like all behind us. So you got to continue to back us up. And he came back with 100% all in. And now look at us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Next question from Zoom. Nancy, go ahead.
This is for Chelsea and Kelsey. Chelsea, you've talked about the disappointment of not making the All-Star team. Can you describe a little bit about what exactly you did after not making the All-Star team? And then Kelsey, somebody brought this up on Twitter the other day, and I think your response was, people are idiots. So what is it like to see Chelsea have the postseason that she's having? Really kind of showing people that she definitely deserved to make that All-Star team.
I went to go visit my younger brother and his fiance. And then we just relaxed and I took a break from basketball, from social media, everything, and just kind of reset. I got hungrier. I got in even better shape than I was before All-Star break. I was in the gym. I was locked in to film. Just made it just went to another level mentally. And then I let my, my work ethic, bring it along. And we've been working. We shoot after practice. We shoot after shoot arounds. Like it's, the work is behind it. So that's pretty much what I did after.
Next question, second row to your left. Did I miss?
Hey, Asia. I'm curious if you can speak on how you think tonight represents Kelsey Plum's growth over time on this franchise.
This was a huge, huge deal because I don't want to say he was in a slump, but she wasn't KP. I felt it in the locker room. She wasn't herself. But today I saw KP and I realized even in myself, I was like, I haven't been talking trash to KP lately. And so that's what got me to say what I was saying. And it's just the growth that you see in KP is incredible. The story that she has it's crazy to even think about. She's such a strong-minded, willed person that's not going to stop until the job is done. I'm so glad she's in our locker room because she would be a pain in the ass if she wasn't. But this is a statement game for KP. I don't care how she sees it. It's a statement game. It puts a lot of people on notice. And I think within herself, she understands that we need her. And for her to come out and do the things that she did is really good for us. So the growth in her is the sky's the limit when it comes to KP and the growth that she has in this league. One thing I will add is that there wasn't like points being added, but she was getting assists. She was guarding Courtney Williams, dynamic score. So there were things that she was still doing that kept her on the floor. And I think that's the growth too. Not just like, okay, now she's back because she's hitting shots. No, she's been like who we needed her to be. We need her out there on the floor. And at the end of the day, you can't help off of her. I don't care if she's 1 for 20. I don't care if she's 1 for 8. You can't help off of her because that is going to come back around. And she hit a big shot for us last game on 3-point line, right there in the slot in the second half. And so, we have confidence in her with that.
All right, Kelsey, Chelsea, Asia. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our Connecticut players are on the way. All right, please let me know if you have questions for. All right, we'll begin with Courtney, Alyssa, and John Quell, we will start standing to your right.
Willie Ramirez with the Associated Press. For any one of you ladies, you are 3-0 in elimination games in this postseason. How do you lean on that confidence, knowing you're going back home to a hostile environment? They'll have your back and rebound in this series.
Yeah, we're just taking it one game at a time now. That's all we can do. We're going to go back home, like you said. We're going to have our fans behind us, who've been with us the entire season, and we're going to use that to propel us to a win. And that's all we can do.
Next question, second row to your left.
Hey, JJ, I'm curious what you thought the major differences were between how you all defended the Aces on Sunday and how you defended them today.
Yeah, I think they were just extremely aggressive. I think we did a better job of playing one-on-one defense in game one. We didn't do as well of a job this game. And I think that was the major difference of them just putting their heads down, getting to the basket, and being able to finish through contact or getting to the free throw line.
Our next question will come from Zoom. Stephen, go ahead.
Hey, ladies, my question is for Courtney. So, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Go ahead, please.
Okay. Yeah, my question is for Courtney. So, you guys were able to have, for Courtney, you guys were able to see more flow and more opportunity from you specifically, getting to the basket and just breaking havoc in terms of things of that nature. Is there something that you guys saw in film from game one to game two? And do you feel like you'll be able to replicate that going into game three at home?
Yeah, I think I was just told to slow down a little bit. And that's what I did, just kind of pick my spots and play with better pace. So just picking my spots and slowing down and letting the game come to me a little bit more.
Next question will come from front row to your right.
If you can answer this, Vegas has really seemed like tried to limit you all on the boards. What have you seen from them to really get better positioning or contest with you guys there? And how will that be a big key going into the rest of the series for you guys to get back to that identity?
Yeah, I mean, they were really trying not to let us get the O boards. I think game one, we were pretty successful on getting to the O boards and second chances. But I think for us, we got to take better shots at times. We took a lot of quick shots that it makes us hard to get in position to rebound. So yeah, we just go back, watch video and adjust and be ready for game 3.
Next question from Zoom. Rafiq, go ahead.
This is Rafiq with Nothing But That Sports. So I got a question for Courtney Williams. Chelsea Gray was literally unguardable tonight. She managed to hit it on a fadeaway shots and even had an inside pass on the low post. Like, what are your thoughts?
I don't got no thoughts on that, man. We gonna rock out. We got a game 3. We gonna get to it.
And question for John Cole Jones. What is the mindset going into game 3? Is it pretty much the same answer Courtney Williams said, or?
Yeah, I mean, we have another opportunity. That's why it's a series. And like I said before, we're going home, we're going in front of our fans, and we're going to use that to help us win the game.
Appreciate the insight. Good luck.
Additional questions from the room? Courtney, Alyssa, John Quell, thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.